What we were trying to achieve with the Warhammer background section was to basically bring Warhammer into its full glory, the real spectacle of the Warhammer world. An epic and glorious place which is full of acts of heroism against this dark and twisted landscape. Luckily we had an enormous vault of artwork to choose from, because Warhammer's been around for 27 years now, which is longer than most of the people that are playing it, I think. So we have got this vast bank of artwork, and we picked all of the best pieces of artwork we could find and published them in full colour in all their glory. But that wasn't just what we had to do. We also had to look at portraying the landscape of Warhammer and to ensure that it really was a very dark and mysterious place. So the Warhammer world isn't all rolling hills and green verdant pastures, quite the opposite. In actual fact, there's nowhere safe in the Warhammer world. The whole place is plagued by wild magic. It's been mutated and messed up just as much as the Warriors of Chaos themselves. So when you play your battle, you play it against this landscape of strange, sentient mountains that growl and shout, and rains of skulls coming down from above, boiling acid and lava coming out of the ground. It really is like hell on earth, essentially. And we wanted to bring that to the front and portray that in our artwork as well as in the game. The Warhammer world, of course, is a very dangerous place. We wanted to show that, you know, the mountains are these strange, towering, sentient things that growl and have weird sculptures carved into them. Even a forest can be a dangerous and a poisonous place because the whole landscape has been twisted by chaos. We also wanted to show that a battle in the Warhammer world, it isn't just dwarves versus goblins. We wanted to say that there was a context and what we called a romantic narrative behind that. We don't mean the dwarves and the elves or dwarves and goblins having a love affair. What we mean is there's a context to that battle. So the goblins have seized the dwarves' ancient territory, and now the dwarves are here to get it back. What used to be a beautiful sort of Mount Rushmore of dwarven ancestor gods has been eroded away and replaced by foul magics to become this strange skull mountain full of cave beasts. And the goblins are spilling out in their millions, and the dwarves are here to take it back. So there's a real reason for that battle to be taking place, a kind of context. And we've tried to get that right the way through the Warhammer book. So how did we get to that point? Well, we sat down at the beginning of the project for a couple of days and talked about what we wanted to portray in the Warhammer background section, how we wanted to portray the Warhammer world. And yeah, we agreed on we need these epic battles. We also talked about the whole history of the Warhammer world, right from the very beginnings when it used to be a lush paradise created by the old ones, through to the point where chaos crashed the party and the great cataclysm came about. The lands were saturated with wild magic and got reshaped as if by some demented sculptor. And through to what we say, the sort of modern day, where Emperor Karl Franz is uniting the factions of order to try and hold back the darkness. And we spent a lot of time detailing each of those periods. There's a great timeline in there that myself and John Blanche worked up, which shows lots of new battles and campaigns. It's absolutely packed to the gills with not only all the classic stuff, but lots of new battles and new information as well. Not only do we have the history section in there, but we also wanted to shine a light on each of the armies. We've got the stage set, now it's time to look at the players. So each of the Warhammer army books has a massive wealth of detail about dwarves, orcs and goblins, Skaven, Warriors of Chaos. We wanted to take the best of that and show it to kind of excite people. And not only that, we didn't just want to show the existing information and the best pieces of art, but we wanted to show something new for each army. So within that section, there's new stuff for everybody to read about their own army. And hopefully, we're not encouraging you to read them all at once, because there is just so much stuff there that it can become a bit boggling after a while, but each of those is its own section unto itself. We also have what we call feature spreads in there. Those are spreads that are largely art driven, and they show a kind of a new angle on that race. So this all comes together at the end to form a sort of a battlescape which you guys are invited to play in. Essentially, the world hangs in the balance at this point. It's the crux point of history. All those events we talked about have been leading up to this one point. The world could either fall apart and get consumed by chaos and destruction, or maybe it's the dawn of a new age, of an age of enlightenment, a golden age under the auspices of Karl Franz and Teclis and the High King of the Dwarves. So it's really up to you to define that in a way. This is where we hand over to you, the players, and it's up to you to play out this drama and see how it unfolds.